President Barack Hussein Obama has been pimping a book. Many of you won't be surprised to learn that he remains every bit the liar he was when he occupied the Oval Office. With Beijing Biden picking out the curtains already, recycling former Obama administration officials who he hopes will one day run America's government, I was reminded of just how dreary and dark the Obama years were for America. A war between the races, yet another reason to avoid Obama's third term. That's the reality check we provide in tonight's preamble. Let's leave aside the socialist anti-Americanism, the anti-cop movement, the lackluster economy, the decimated military, and policies that aided America's enemies at every turn on the international stage. One of the biggest reasons why we conservatives are fighting so hard to keep socialists from returning to the White House is that race relations took a nosedive during the Obama years. Remember? Obama and Biden did their best to use race as a weapon to advance their Marxist agenda. It's no accident that Antifa was imported here from Europe and BLM was born on Obama's watch. In short, Obama and Biden set up a predicate. With their enablers in the press, they did this. That opposition to socialist Democrats was tantamount to racism. If you opposed high taxes, racist. If you wanted the law enforced equally, well, you're a racist. If you demanded free speech and the right to disagree with any left-winger on any matter, racist. Collectivist thought is so un-American that it can't stand on its own here. That's why reprobates like Obama weaponized race to force your compliance. Here he is, keeping the race war that he started going by attacking Hispanics who voted for President Trump.
People were surprised about a lot of Hispanic folks who voted for Trump. But there's a lot of evangelical Hispanics who, the fact that Trump says racist things about Mexicans or puts detainees, undocumented workers in cages, they think that's less important than the fact that, he supports their views on, gay marriage or abortion.
Who built those cages, by the way, Obama? First, let's deal with Obama's contempt for Latinos' reverence for life. It is true that many Latinos don't look at the Word of God as a suggestion. It is also true that many Hispanics decry the filthy, disgusting, and inhuman practice of abortion on demand. And not to put too fine a point on this, but our devotion to the Almighty, or simply put, our devotion to our First Amendment rights under the Constitution, well, they're a pretty big deal to us. We also don't think it's government's job to tell the country's major religions that they must redefine their tenets at the command of government. In other words, marriage doesn't belong to government, rather to the churches, synagogues, and mosques, the religious institutions of America. But about these alleged racist comments about Mexicans from President Trump, it should be made, well, abundantly clear, even to statists like Barack Obama, that Mexico is a nation, not a race. Also, we Latinos are intelligent enough to know what Trump said on that now famous escalator trip that launched his 2016 presidential campaign. President Trump spoke of rapists, criminals, and other undesirable folks who are coming across the southern border, along with very fine people he mentioned. It is a lie for any left-winger in the press or in politics to suggest that everyone gaining illegal entry to the United States is as pure as the wind-driven snow. In fact, there are rapists, drug dealers, and Trump left out killers who are gaining illegal entry to America every single day. That number has decreased significantly since Obama occupied the Oval Office, courtesy of President Trump. Many of us Hispanics voted for the rule of law, safety in our communities, and against socialism. That's why we voted Trump. In 2015, then candidate Trump was telling the truth about the southern border. For that, Obama and other liberals called him a racist. You see how this works? But when it comes to real racism, Obama, as well as those who interview him, well, they're silent.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Now, that is an untrue and racist statement. But did Chris Wallace bring that up in the first debate? Did Charlemagne the God ask Obama his thoughts on his former VP saying that if you don't vote for Biden, you give up your blackness? No. Here's more real racism ignored by the press and Obama.
All know, but most people don't know. Unlike the African American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things.
Saying all blacks think alike is a racist comment. But to call Biden out on that, well, that doesn't advance socialism in America, you see. And that's why the press and Obama ignore these examples of real racism. Would they have done so for President Trump? The answer is no. B.O., before Obama, this nation had done so much good work to reconcile our history of racism. Some of that work was in recognition that racism was just that, history. But Obama needs us divided. He and his sycophants know that to bring down America, it must be done from within. And that's why they will weaponize race, continue the violence, and work to prevent a more perfect union. Is it any wonder so many of us are working to prevent Beijing Biden's return to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? America can't afford socialism, and we certainly can't afford an unfounded race war.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.